The international effort to dismantle Russia's war machine is a complex and ongoing struggle. While a comprehensive sanctions regime has been in place for years, its effectiveness is a subject of constant debate. The sanctions have undoubtedly inflicted economic pain on Russia, making it more difficult and costly to procure essential military technology and components. However, Russia has demonstrated a surprising resilience, adapting its economy to a wartime footing and developing sophisticated methods to evade sanctions. Russia's ability to maintain its military production relies heavily on third-party countries, particularly China and Central Asian nations, which act as conduits for Western-made microchips and other dual-use goods. This has forced the sanctioning countries to pivot their strategy, focusing on secondary sanctions and more aggressive enforcement measures to close these loopholes. The overall state of the issue is a continuous cat-and-mouse game, with the West tightening controls and Russia finding new ways to circumvent them. Shutting down Putin's war machine is a complex challenge that primarily involves crippling Russia's economy and disrupting its military supply chains. The most direct approach is a tightening and expansion of international sanctions, with a focus on two key areas: energy revenues and military procurement. First, to cut off funding, Western nations are working to reduce Russia's massive revenue from oil and gas exports. This involves enforcing a stricter price cap on Russian oil, cracking down on Russia's shadow fleet of tankers that evade sanctions, and targeting the financial institutions that facilitate these transactions. Second, to starve Russia's military of critical technology, there's a strong push to enhance export controls on dual-use goods, like microchips and electronics, that are essential for modern weapons systems. This strategy includes imposing secondary sanctions on entities in third-party countries, such as China and those in Central Asia, that are helping Russia circumvent existing bans. By closing these loopholes, the international community aims to make it significantly more difficult and expensive for Russia to produce and maintain its military hardware. The future effectiveness of efforts to dismantle Russia's war machine hinges on the international community's ability to close loopholes and enforce sanctions more aggressively. It is highly probable that we will see a shift from broad sanctions to more targeted measures, particularly secondary sanctions on third-party countries that help Russia evade restrictions. This will likely create increased friction with nations like China and India. But it's a necessary step to choke off Russia's access to vital dual-use technology and components. Another prediction is that Russia will continue to adapt by further strengthening its economic ties with non-Western partners and developing its own domestic production capabilities, even if it means lower quality. The economic pressure on Russia will likely continue to mount, with its federal deficit widening and civilian sectors of its economy suffering. However, it's unlikely that these economic pressures alone will be enough to stop the war. They will need to be coupled with sustained military support for Ukraine to force Russia to the negotiating